Hola bandidos, ¿cómo estamos? Welcome to Mel's Magic Official. I'm Magic Mel and this is my angel, yet to be baptized. Welcome to episode 12 of season 9. And yes, it's only a few hours after I recorded 3 videos. Was it 9, 10, and 11, which just kind of came out of me through being connected. And I felt inspired to record this episode because I reflected on what I said last night. As you know, I write my morning pages a la Julia Cameron, the artist's way in the morning, and it gives me a chance to revise and to reflect, to connect and to reflect. It's a constant process, never ending. We're never going to get it done. So my reflection was, I talk a lot about union. I speak to you, divine feminines, divine masculines, and it comes up in the cards now, Two of Cups, union, this and that. But, in the bigger scheme of things, in the macrocosm, in the microcosm and the macrocosm, what this union is about unifying our ego with our soul, integrating the ego at the service of the soul, animus and anima. This whole process of ascension has to do with unifying. Wholeness means precisely that. And what is the force behind this unifying process? It's love. It sounds cheesy, but love is the most powerful energy in the universe. And love unifies. Fear fragments and separates. So what we're all asked to do here, regardless of our gender, is to come back into balance, to tap back into our feminine, the intuitive part of you, the receiving part of you, the spacious one, the allowing one, with your masculine aspect, which is action, acting from that soul's inspiration. It's about unifying matter with spirit also. But in any case, that is what union is about. And of course, the fairy tales are all symbolic, the princess meeting the prince, or the queen and the king, empress with emperor. But essentially, they are pointing towards this internal process. You have the emperor in you, you have the empress in you. We got to tap into both. Okay, so that was a big thing I wanted to clarify. And the reason why, in my own experience and what I witness out there, the rampant statistics of mental illness, the fragmentation, it has to do with splitting from our soul, splitting off from our soul, being too immersed with the materialistic world, the ego-driven desires that ultimately don't fulfill us. It's like trying to fill an empty pit, a bottomless pit, hence overconsumption. It's when we connect back to our soul that we find true satisfaction, because then we follow our calling guided by our soul, which brings us intrinsic fulfillment, meaning we're able to entertain ourselves. We don't rely on external stimulus so much, on someone else catering to our needs or desires, or being constantly fed with entertainment or consumption. Because we're able to fill that void, which can only be truly filled with self-love and that connection to self by ourselves. And that doesn't mean it doesn't involve other people. I tell you that it's all about paradox, no? That by connecting back with ourselves, we're actually able to have better connections and better relationship with other people that are not codependent, that are not based on some underlying ulterior motive where I'm trying to get my needs met in a manipulative way without you knowing. But by authentic giving and receiving. Because then by connecting with yourself, you connect with your joy, with your gifts, with what you can bring to the table, and you're able to literally bring that to the table and say, this is me, this is what I got. Let's work together. So when I, in my own experience, didn't follow my soul's calling, but was caught in the mind, when I was, excuse the noise, it's some, what do you call these blow dryers where they blow leaves? It's Monday here. I was caught in the fear patterns of my mind, which didn't allow me to step forward onto a soulful path. I was split, and that split caused, I had a mental breakdown, because that psychic split it's your whole psyche, your soul split off from your body. I mean, it's pretty grave. So my own healing process had to do with unifying, reclaiming those fragments again, and finally listening to what my intuition, what my soul was telling me, trusting that voice, because I didn't trust it in the past. So when we speak about the King of Swords following his Northern Star, the Northern Star is his soul aspect. And played out in the Hieros Gamos, in the twin flame journey, the divine feminine leads because she's tapped into her heart, she's the oracle of the new earth. And she is not needy, but she needs the divine masculine to step into his power to actually create I'm careful with the word container, but let's say the structure for her to really thrive in her creativity and bring out these intuitive messages. The divine masculine and divine feminine work together in the external couple as, a partnership, but also internally. So internally, it means that we provide the, let's say, time structure for our creativity to come out. We set our own boundaries, masculine, to protect our heart. We don't just give our heart to anyone who's not trustworthy. Yeah, that's like the interplay between the masculine and the feminine aspects within us. And like I shared with you in episode 10, it's only normal to slip back into our old patterns. For example, I have a very strong tendency to go back into my head, especially when I have a long to-do list and I go into overdrive. Magic Mel takes too much coffee and she's like, I split, go back, and I just completely disconnect from my body. So my internal process is also that of reconnecting, slowing down, reconnecting with my body, which is a psychic tool, with my intuition, with my heart. What is my body actually telling me? Not just my mind. That's how we work in tandem with both. And in this ascension process, one part of us might go faster than the other. The body might want to switch or take that leap of faith, and the mind is like, whoa, 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 whoa. This doesn't feel safe. Or the other way around. Maybe you have some inspired idea and you want to bring that into fruition, manifest that, but your body needs rest. So no matter how inspired you are, no matter how much you want to steam forward into action, if your body is calling out for rest and we don't do that, the split happens again. So we're recalibrating, adjusting to the new frequencies and integrating. And the ascension process, like I shared with you, is all about coming home to ourselves, gathering our energy, gathering our split off consciousness, and unifying internally. Okay? So on this note, I noticed that we didn't pull an oracle card from the Moonology deck. This is a super full moon. This morning I woke up, past 3 days, I wake up in the morning and the moon is still there. It's probably why I don't need much sleep. It's really powerful. So from this deck, let's see, what does Haniel have to share with you? In this, in general, rather balanced energy, environmental energy of October, what does Haniel have to share with you regarding your ascension process, regarding your integration process? Thank you so much. Let's connect directly with the moon. Shout out to Barnaby and Rebecca. Thank you for being my patrons. I'm going to hop on there after this and create some exclusive content. On my Patreon, I get more of like a behind the scenes glimpse of what goes into Mel's Magic Official, what goes on with Casa Lily, my house here, which I'm converting into a spiritual retreat and healing retreat center. Once we tap into our soul's purpose, we have different expressions. Our purpose can take different expressions. So in my case, I'm a visual artist, but I also use my voice now, tapping into my truth, opening my throat chakra, which is very important. And I set the intention with this full moon to flow more. And flowing with the energy is only possible when we're connected, When we go up into the mind and split off from our body, we cannot be in flow, because our body is our way of, senses his way forward. Rather than thinking our way forward or thinking our way around, let's sense our way around. Let's sense what feels, what's calling me, and then use the mind to, whatever, work it out. But let's use the real driver, which is the heart, the soul, and our senses to guide us in this process, to help us flow. Voila. Well, let's see what Haniel herself has got to say here. It's October 2nd, Monday, October 2nd. I have a huge ass calendar on my fridge. One of those old school bank calendars where you see the numbers and everything I strike out every day. Helps me visualize time, because I'm telling you, as time is speeding up, it's just, if I don't see time, it just doesn't exist anymore. And before I know, it's a week gone again and a month gone. It's crazy. I'm sure you feel the same. If you let me know. Let's not freak out by the speeding up of time. Let's flow. Stay connected in the now. Okay, Haniel, you're making me shuffle. One more. Una más. Voilà. Believe in the impossible. Didn't I tell you that with this, the whole energy of October is one of pure magic? And if you haven't heard my stories, my anecdotes, but my own experiences about being in the flow with pure magic over the past few days, watch my episode 9 and 10. I mean, it's blissful. It can be blissful. Can you believe it? Can you lean into that trust? I mean, the more I lean into trust, the more I'm trusting, because it's a feedback loop. I'm like, oh, it works. Oh, it is possible to trust. It is possible to release. It is possible to flow. So how about believing in the impossible, guys, with this? Well, it says blue moon. It is a super full moon. Oh my God, in Aries. Haniel herself is encouraging you to believe in the impossible. And that happens when we stop being rigid in our mind, in our conceptual and analytical mind, and just open up some space. What if anything is really possible, guys? It is. Yeah? In this quantum field, in this field of infinite possibilities, in this universe that is essentially mental, everything that is possible to think about can exist. So where do we put our attention? What do we choose to believe? Do we choose to let go of our strict mental paradigms to just allow something miraculous to come in, allow the magic to envelop us? Try it out. Haniel is encouraging you to do so. I also talking about divine feminine energy. I love this deck. It's in honor of the divine feminines. A lot of them, are real historical figures. And in the booklet, it talks about the historical figure behind the card, and it's very informative. I'm very curious about that. A lot of the characters, Mary Magdalene, you hear about them, but in my case, I didn't necessarily know the entire story, and it's just very informative and nutritious, And I also told you, the soulful path it nourishes you. We are multidimensional. We need to nourish ourselves in so many senses, not just the food we eat, which is a whole different topic also in itself, but our mind needs nourishment, our soul needs nourishment, our heart needs nourishment. So how are you nourishing yourself? It's one of the questions also. If you want to journal, write that question down. In what ways do I need to be nourished? What aspect of myself needs to be nourished more? Like that gardener of your conscious garden that gives some fertilizer to different aspects of you in your internal ecosystem. Is there a specific aspect of you that maybe needs a little bit more TLC or attention at this point in time? What is it? Ask yourself, you know best. And connecting with the divine feminines and your Asga team, remember, tapping into you. Who of you would like to connect, to give a message of encouragement in this beautiful October? I love fall, change of seasons, time of transition. Isn't it always a time of transition? Nothing's ever static. Man, Flow is my ultimate goal. Because being stuck and resisting, if you think about it, a lot of our illnesses, mental or physical, come when we don't flow, when we don't allow emotions to flow through us, when we don't process them and release them. Any stuck energy is usually causes havoc in the system. And I often think about that when I clean the pool. You know, there's a whole system to the pool cleaning. There's like pumps and valves. If you think about respiratory or circulatory system, it's the same thing. If something gets stuck in there, it usually causes trouble. If there's a block somewhere, we gotta unblock it. Otherwise it's gonna block the entire stream. Okay, Divine Feminines focusing now on you. Who of you would like to connect with you watching? Hey, you're getting a good dose of Mel's Magic Official here. 4 videos in 2 days or less than 12 hours. Talking about moderation, that's not my forte. Oh, I'm working on it. I'm either like super high or no. The whole thing about balancing and unifying thing is also literally coming back into balance, not like being so extreme. Finding our own middle path, so to speak. So out came, I have to read it. Can I read it here? Voila. Saint Brigide, Our Lady of Exalted Light. I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. Talking about soul. I'm a little bit worried about the sentence, I give endlessly, because maybe I associate it with oversharing, overgiving, overextending, over-sacrificing, you know. Especially I don't know, there's a lot of us now who overextended our energy. We need to learn to bring that back into balance and to self-honor. But I get it also. When we tap into love, when we tap into our own fountain of love, that fountain is infinite. It's a matter of tapping into that. And then, yeah, we can give. I mean, what's humanly possible, no? But it's when we're able to generate our own love and have that overflow. And by generate, I mean connecting, resourcing ourselves. Then we are really able to give more. But first we gotta, honor ourselves first and tend to that reconnection first. Then we can overflow. So Saint Brigide is the Lady of the Exalted Light. And the exalted is the same notion with when we talk about the sacred feminine, the sacred masculine, the divine feminine, divine masculine. It's the exalted version. There's the distorted version or the shadow version of us, and then there's the light aspect, the exalted, the sublimated version of us, the exalted version. My soul is all I need. I thought about that too, because in the old paradigm we put kind of the horse before the cart. We set the wrong priorities. We think, okay, first we need to earn money, then I can do what I love. First I need to chase security, then I feel secure. No, it's when you reconnect with yourself and let your soul guide you. The sense of safety comes from that inner connection. The sense of security that you're desperately looking out there and probably trying to manipulate other people or situations to provide you that safety, that fails, because the true anchoring comes from within, from that connection within. And when push comes to shove, guys, we're not on this planet for a long time. Yeah? What we take with us is our soul, as the Egyptian gods remind us, when in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, when we pass over, before we are able to go into the afterlife, there's Osiris and Ma'at weighing your soul with the contrapeso of a feather. And if your heart, sorry, not your soul, your heart, if your soul is heavier than that feather, i.e. if it's filled with resentment, anger, guilt, shame, all of the negative stuff that's heavy, then you're not able to pass over. I mean, it's a bit harsh, but hey, it's a good warning. What are you prioritizing in your life? Are you prioritizing your soul? Because your soul knows what makes you truly joyful and fulfilled and satisfied. Your soul knows what your true purpose is. And that true purpose can be just following that inner calling moment by moment, that connection. You can gain money, you can lose money. Things around you are constantly shifting. So instead of trying to manipulate and control the image, the projection, because we are projecting into a reality, how about going inward and connecting with the only true source of the constant security, the anchor, which is your soul, your connection with your soul. And hello, if we once we leave this physical vessel, what goes over? The soul. So prioritize the right things. Yeah, put things into perspective. Your joy matters. Your joy is directly connected with your soul. Your soul wants you to be joyful. Okay? Your soul wants you to be fulfilled. And everything else will come into balance from that essential inner connection, that inner union. Okay? So that's what this episode was about. We're going to keep it short and sweet. Remember, believe in the impossible. I tell myself nowadays, I'm like, bring it on, angels. What is the miracle of today? Surprise me, believe in the impossible, and connect with your soul. Right? So, as a Monday morning here, Angel and I are wishing you a good start to the week. And for my Patreon tribe, I'm going to hop onto Patreon and provide some good content for you now. Okay, for anyone new here and anyone who wants to join us, it's Magic Mel and the Love Rebels. I create extra content on my Patreon. You're able to support what I'm doing here, my message, my vision, and my purpose. And yeah, be more directly connected with me. Okay, see you on there, and thank you for just being on the journey with me. I appreciate every one of you watching. Thank you for liking, for sharing, and subscribing to my channel. I'll see you for episode 13 coming up pretty soon, as it looks. Ciao, bandidos. Ciao.